Sometimes in rivalry games, it's kind of amusing to refer to your rival as little brother. But make no mistake, UCLA is not USC's little brother this year. It's the Arizona Wildcats, and we'll tell you why in just a moment. Hi, I'm James, the Faithful Angelino Sports, with a preview of USC football against the Wildcats in Tucson this weekend. And if you enjoy talking about the Trojans, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We do talk USC football here. Look, I get that losing to Utah 2 weeks ago was a little painful. It dropped the Trojans to 6-1. But what do you say we climb into the Wayback Machine just for a moment and experience, hopefully, the last time, the excruciating last gasps of the Clay Helton debacle. Now, that wasn't as painful a death as, say, Marion Cotillard in The Dark Knight Rises, but it wasn't fun to watch either. You know who had a worse year, though? When you look at how bad the Trojans were with Clay Helton, do you know who had a worse year last year? Arizona. The Wildcats went 1-11, and they were one of the worst scoring teams in the nation. So what the Wildcats did was, just like USC, they attacked the transfer portal. And they were good at it, just like Lincoln Riley was. Only Lincoln Riley was much better at it. So, for example, Arizona has improved. How? They swiped quarterback Jaden DeLaura, the Pac-12 offensive freshman from the year, from Washington State. Bully for them, right? That's a good pickup. It's a really good pickup. Only Caleb Williams came to USC. Then the Wildcats, they go and they take a deep threat, Jacob Cowing from UTEP. Again, that's a really good pickup. Only USC went out and got Jordan Addison. Do you see where I'm going? And matter of fact, that wasn't the only receiver that USC added. I mean, they added receivers. They took Jerry Rice's son from Colorado. They took Mario Williams from Oklahoma. So if you see where I'm going, Big Brother USC has more juice, more pull than Little Brother Arizona. But let's take a look at Arizona for a moment, because as a result of all of this offseason work, the Wildcats became a younger team, but they also became a younger team that can score a lot. Both teams are coming off a bye, but if USC doesn't watch out, it can find itself in trouble pretty quickly. It is true the Trojans have a 9-game winning streak against Arizona, but the games in Tucson for the last decade or so have had a margin of victory of less than a touchdown. So they have to keep their heads about them. DeLaura has passed for more than 400 yards in 3 of his last 4 games, and it's not simply a bunch of long bombs to Cowing. They also have 2 freshman receivers that they picked up from Servite High School out in Anaheim, Techaroya McMillan and tight end Keon Burnett. And if I mispronounced either of those 2 young men's names, my bad, I apologize. But Arizona's defense, there's no getting around it. They're awful. They're just god-awful. And that's why, if you are USC, you should go into this game confident. The Wildcats have allowed a minimum of 580 yards in 3 of their last 4 games. The Wildcats defense, they're led by a former USC defensive coordinator, Johnny Nansen, and I guess that would explain it, because that would be Clay Helton era all over again. Arizona's defense allows more than 36 points a game and more than 207 rushing yards a game. So we could go into all kinds of X's and O's or this, that, or the other. But I think just by looking at those numbers, we have a pretty good idea that USC should control this game. Oh, it's going to be a track meet, definitely. But it is still a track meet the Trojans can control. I think Arizona will be able to run, for example, because the Trojans' defense under Alex Grinch has made a concerted effort to try to avoid the big pass plays. Arizona is going to look for the big pass. USC will be lying in wait. So, theoretically, pulling more people back to take away the deep pass should open up running lanes. Just ask Washington State earlier this year. But again, here's how USC can control the game. If USC ever goes up by, say, more than 7 points, I would take Travis Dye, I would take Raleek Brown, I would take Austin Jones, and just kill clock by running the ball as much as possible. Because again, those 200 plus yards rushing per game that Arizona's allowing, that's a big tell. Arizona's best shot to win is to force USC's offense into turnovers. The only problem with that is USC has turned the ball over one time this year. Delora alone has thrown 7 interceptions. So which team do you think in a track meet is more capable of imploding? Do you see where I'm going? So, having said that, again, I'm taking bigger brother. I think the Trojans will have enough to stay in control like a bigger brother. I think they will have enough strength like a big brother to hold off the little brother. I'm taking USC. Now, if you enjoyed this preview, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelinos. We talk Trojans football here. Thank you for watching. I'm James. By the way, this is going to be the last game on the Pac-12 network for the year, in case you're wondering where the hell it is. Tough luck for all of us, wouldn't you say? Faithful Angelinos is a Kian Corte El Queso production. Take care.